Room look.
Looks good. Hello and welcome to the Casual Hour, where we're talking currently about strawberry jam versus grape jelly.
Is that even a question?
Apparently it is. This is a
very divisive question. I feel like this is going to be one of those where I feel like the answer is obvious, and yet you're going to prove to me that it's not obvious.
Well, I'm going to say grape jelly because I just bought some. Not for myself. It's for Baltimore Orioles. I'm trying to attract to the yard. They love that shit.
The baseball team, sure. Yeah.
Yes, like obviously the baseball team.
I mean, it's not like they're playing ball, so they gotta at least get some grape jelly out of it. Are you saying you're a strawberry jam man, Bob?
I'm a strawberry jam man.
You have proven me correct. But I thought this was an open and shut case, and you have to come in here with your strawberry jam bullshit.
No, I'm not one to turn away most jams or jellies, but if I had my preference, specifically on a peanut butter and jelly, I am all in on strawberry. But I like I want more peanut butter on that sandwich. I want 75% peanut butter, 25% jam.
When you eat your sandwich, maybe we've talked about this before. Do you have to have it in a certain orientation? Like, do you have to have peanut butter on the bottom and then jam on the top, or can it be flipped?
Yeah, sorry. Well, for peanut butter and jelly, or peanut butter and jam in this case, I always put peanut butter as the base, because the jam can start to seep out, and the peanut butter holds the world together to begin with. So let alone, why would I not have it hold my sandwich together?
Definitely, yeah. And also, like, the whole idea that the peanut butter sticks to the roof of your mouth, you need to have the layer of jelly or jam to kind of somewhat counteract that. It's just good. It's just good business. I've got a similar problem about burgers and having them have to be layered in a very specific way. I mean, I'll eat it, but if I'm making a burger, I have to make it in a certain way. Strawberries are the superior fruit, for sure. Yeah. I'd eat a strawberry any day before I'd ever eat a grape. Fuck grapes. But grape jelly is the right answer. Like, if you're getting a PB&J and that shit is red, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
Well, why don't we let the smarter person of the group tonight, your friend and mine, friend of the show, Matt Giggysan. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Bobby? Chase?
It's great to have you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Ray talk some video games.
Yeah. Do you have?
Well, hang on.
We got peanut butter and jelly stuff.
I do jams and jellies.
In the chat, Kind Colin does say, like, puts it on upside bread and puts it together. That is the only way. But what do you do first? You do jelly first, and then you scoop out the peanut. You peanut butter your knife first and make it all goopy, and then
I use two separate.
Two knives? Oh, so inefficient. So inefficient.
I got that squeeze bottle that does like the thin. So it's like I only need the knife for peanut butter, and then the bottle does the rest. I don't need to dirty my knife up with anything else.
It's jam first, the jelly first, and then you just clean it off on that other nice clean piece of bread. Get a nice little thin line of jelly, and then smab that peanut butter right on top.
No,
My thought would be
if you're going to do that at all, you
and then
do
smash them
peanut
together
butter.
together.
You do the peanut butter first, and then you don't care that there's a little bit of peanut butter that gets in your jelly. Who the fuck cares? You do care if jelly gets into your peanut butter. That's fucking gross.
No, but you clean the knife off with the free piece of bread.
That's
you get a
just-
little
have you
extra
ever had
jelly
the
on
jar
top of
that
that
had,
peanut
like,
butter
both in
side
it?
of the bread,
Too many
and it just
steps.
makes it all the better.
What about
2 knives with the squeeze bottles.
was
Okay,
it Smuckers?
I'm
that
outnumbered
had-
here.
That had the jar that had peanut butter and jelly in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
That's gross shit.
Yeah, that's like the colored ketchup stuff. Hey, outside of having some really hot,
I mean,
takes on
bring back purple ketchup. I'm all for that.
Hell
no,
yeah.
thanks.
This is the Casual Hour. We're a podcast ostensibly about video games, but mostly about jelly versus jam. I'm Bobby Pease, host of the show. Johnny's on assignment this week, so joining us is...
And we hope he stays.
Stay away, Johnny. We got Giggysan here tonight.
Just going to be a bright eyes roadie for our groupie for the rest of his
We
days.
wish.
Yeah. And the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky. Chase has put together a special episode for you and I. We've got our April preview. So just to kind of highlight some things we're going to talk about tonight, we've got a recap of some of the games we thought would be good from March. We're going to look ahead to April. Got a hot take on that new Kirby game. We're going to talk about a game called Core Keeper. We're going to talk about Katana Zero and maybe that Halo TV show. Got a few other things we're going to talk about. Lots to stick around
We're
for.
talk about that Halo TV show.
I don't know if I want to. I kind of have to, but I don't want to. But yeah, we got a big show tonight. A lot of fun stuff to get into. So we're gonna start with what we've been playing recently, though, before we get into any of that. So, how do you want to do this tonight? Chase, you traditionally go first. Should we let our guests go first, or do you want to?
I would say let's let the guests go first. Yeah.
Well, I would say you guys should go first because those are newer games, and I don't play newer games because A, I don't have money for newer games at the moment, and B, I have too many older games to play that I don't need newer games. So which older game do you want to hear first? Katana Zero from 3 years ago, Max Payne 3 from over 10 years ago, or Into the Breach from, what is that, also 3 years ago?
2
years ago?
You know the answer to this question,
Yeah.
Vicky.
I think it's Into the Breach.
Yes.
Hell
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first time playing Into the Breach?
No. I've been revisiting it. The first time I played it, let's see, it came out on PC first.
Yes.
And then basically just dropped one day after the direct that, hey, Into the Breach is now on Switch. So I bought it then and
We
there,
all
played it a
freaked
little
out about
bit.
that.
I know.
It was awesome.
And I played it a little bit and never really got any of the other teams opened. Like you get what are the coins that you get from basically just completing islands and little
just
challenges
whatever,
here.
Whatever coins, yeah.
And basically it unlocks I think at a faster rate than FTL, the first game this team did. And I got what's the I don't have it in front of me. What's the orange one that has the mech that pushes things
Is that the Rusting Hulks?
I think so. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, something like that.
Or no,
And
Rusting Hulk's the one you start with.
yes, it's the other one that
You're talking about the one that does like electricity stuff and does all the dust.
Yes,
Okay. I forgot the
they
name, but that's
basically they have one of the mechs that you get is basically it doesn't do any damage, at least like the base base package it has. Basically you can push the what are the VEC into different coordinates or push it into an object that can damage it, and it just opens up so many more possibilities. And I just was able to, after getting on them unlocked, plow through like two islands and finally unlock a third island finally. And my goodness, that game is just so fucking good.
Some people
it's
think it's
so
a
fucking
perfect
good.
video game.
it is the Rusting Hulks. The Rift Walkers are the one you start with. Yeah. Okay.
That was I think that actually the team that he's talking about we played with on stream one night. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. I really like playing as that team. It's probably my favorite one. It's either those or the fire ones. I really like the idea of just spreading fire everywhere and none of your mechs caring about it whatsoever.
I can't wait to unlock that. I just this past month I've just been playing like little bits and chunks of it because it's really, really, even though the screen size on the Switch Lite isn't the best for the text that you have to read sometimes on the screen. It's not the worst I've ever had to play with on the system as far as like text reading on a small screen, but It works so well with the UI that they've done, the control scheme to select your characters and initiate attacks and everything. Like something that would be more like better with probably a mouse and keyboard, obviously, but like they just make it work here on a handheld, and it's just glorious.
Do you think they'll ever make another one of those?
Another like Into the Breach, like an Into the Breach 2?
Yeah. Back to the Breach?
Back to the Breach. I don't know, because I mean, you could, but why wouldn't you just make like DLC like they did for Faster Than Light? Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, but also it's been a while at this point. I feel like if they were going to do DLC, we would have seen it or at least heard about it by now.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from that dev, right?
No, I'm really excited to see what Subset Games makes next, but I assume it'll probably just be a brand new thing. I've listened to those guys on podcasts before, and they talk a lot about how they're just prototyping all the time, and after FTL they had enough cushion to say, okay, we can just take as much time as we need until we figure out an idea that is cool, and that's how they got Into the Breach. And I imagine they'll probably do the same thing, and I'm sure they're coming up with hundreds of different prototypes and just figure it out.
Yeah, they seem like a dev that keeps it close to the chest, and when they're ready to show something, they are going to be like, here it is, it's almost out.
Yeah, I was honestly really surprised that game never made it to the iPad. I thought for sure it would be there.
Maybe, yeah, because I don't see like a touch interface detracting like any way other like Faster Than Light. Great iPad game.
It is.
It's good. I
prefer it on PC, but it's like when you want to play it on the go, it's better than hugging a laptop.
It does squish some of your screens a little bit, and you kind of have to go back and forth, and some of the sizing stuff doesn't work as well as it does on PC. But also, like Into the Breach is a turn-based game. You can completely take your time and do every. FTL at least has some type of timing that goes with it.
Yeah, you can pause,
which made any sort of iPad movement like, hey, if I got frustrated with the controls of something, I'm losing out on time that I need to be using more efficiently. But for Into the Breach, it doesn't matter because you have to hit select and enter to finish off any of those moves. So yeah, it's shocking to me that it doesn't show up on iPad at some point, but I don't know. Works great on Switch, though.
Absolutely.
Jiggy, what else? You said Max Payne or Katana Zero?
Katana Zero. I also played a little Twitch-ish game called Chef Squad this past weekend. I was watching somebody one of their streams this past weekend, and they had bought in a game that basically Chef Squad enables like the chat to play along on this video game.
Cool.
And think of it like kind of like Overcooked, except the streamer is the one that dictates, okay, I need this person who's up as a chef to chop onions. And to do that, and you just type exclamation point and then ONO, like for onion, basically, or CHZ for cheese. You serve and everything. So you follow little commands on the screen. So it's like sort of like a way to like one of those games, kind of like Marbles on Stream.
Yeah.
Ones where like the chat can play along too. I just found it fascinating, and that like really that cool. Whole genre of just games centered around streaming and Twitch is kind of fascinating, and this is just one of them.
Hell yeah!
Was Twitch Plays Pokemon the first one of those, or just the one that popularized that?
I think
that was like that's like a modification on those things. But yeah, I think that was kind of like early on, and now that they're like just streaming in general has gotten so big, and there's just people trying to find ways to engage chat, in just different ways. Like this one seemed like a lot more involved than like Marbles on Stream, where you just type in your name and maybe type zoom to go a little faster or something like that. But I don't know. I just thought it was neat, and something you don't normally see, or you can play like in any other way.
I can tell you that like I haven't done a lot of solo streams, and I've gotten way more comfortable doing them than I did at the beginning. And one of the things that I had read when I first started streaming outside of our show was if you can just like have somebody hop on a call with you, like call a friend, talk to them while you're playing or something like that. But the idea of having a community that you can interact with that would want to play a game with you, I think could do a lot for like social anxiety and just like stage fright, and make it a bit more inclusive than like, hey, I'm performing for everybody at this point in time versus like I'm congregating people together. So I think there's a really fascinating element to the dynamic and relationship that you can have. Because I've seen a few other streams where there's like, it's not gambling, but it's like dumb bets. Like, hey, I'm going to throw this pencil, guess where it's going to land, chat, or something like that, like dumb shit like that, where it's more finding new creative ways to do it. But I think in the age of like the Jackbox games and some of that other shit, there's been some really cool ways to do more remote interactivity with people and do that. So that sounds like a really cool thing, especially for a game like Overcooked in concept.
And even more simplistically, like just the way something like Giant Bomb does polls in chat, and they're able to get some sort of engagement in there, some controlled engagement.
Yeah, and I actually like someone I follow, and I'm in a Discord that streams. They're doing like a sort of almost chat involved run of Dark Souls tonight right now.
Oh shit!
So like they were gonna try to do it with one of the like Zelda randomizers, I think like Majora's Mask or something like that, and couldn't get it to work. So, but you can like certain games like Dark Souls 1, this works. So it's like it is fascinating seeing all these different ways to get like viewer engagement, people like actively engaged at the moment. I just find it all fascinating.
Yeah, I've seen Fire Emblem streamers who do a similar thing too. Like, oh, I have a Master Seal. Which character am I using it on? And then chat votes. And of course, most of the time, chat is trying to undercut the person who's playing, which is cool because then this person has to go and try to play Fire Emblem in an even harder fashion. So that's kind of neat.
What else have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing, like I said, Max Payne 3. I've got a new PC. I got it for Christmas for my family, and I'm just absolutely blessed. I was like almost in tears when I got this thing, and I have like
you had one that stopped working, right?
It's a wild story. What I used to use when I stream was, since I basically use old consoles and use a weird setup where I capture the feed from the console, but also split it so I can play it on a CRT TV. Excuse me. And so basically I was using a Mac from like 2013 to do everything. And that is not the best way to be using like doing anything these days. So my brother-in-law, he got a new PC from a friend over in Scotland. Had it shipped to him, got here, messed up.
Damn.
The CPU was knocked out, and he was going to give me his old PC. So what he did was he gutted the CPU from his old PC and put it in his new one, and he was able to use his new PC. So I had a PC without a CPU. So I was like, all right, what if I buy you a used CPU on Newegg for a fraction of the price? The same one that you got. Found one. For like $123 or something like that. And when that comes in, we'll put it in. You can give me the old CPU, and I can use your old computer. Finally, that worked after like 6 months, and I get the PC, and it doesn't boot to Windows.
Oh shit.
So I look at it. I'm like, what's wrong with this? So I unplug the SSD from the motherboard, plug it into another slot, boots up fine. So I'm going, cool. This is great. 3 weeks later, I turn on one day, sparks start flying out of the power supply. I hear a big hiss, a pop, and I smell smoke. And I am so quick to turn off the surge protector that I am just like, holy shit, man. So I spend like another $40 to get like some cheap power supply to get it booted up and everything. Then I'm noticing that I can't connect to the internet as well as I could in one of the rooms I had it in. So I'm like,
kind of a necessary thing for a lot.
Yeah, so I get a new network card. So finally I get everything set up, and I'm getting like just random ass freezes for no reason. Like I'm doing something and it just freezes, and I have to hard reboot. And it's just like I can't deal with this computer anymore. I was great. It was free. But I've already sunk like $200 into this damn thing, and it's not even working. So Christmas rolls around, and my brother-in-law, he built me a PC.
Damn, that's awesome.
it's it's got 16 gigs of RAM. It's got a 1050 GTX 1050 Ti, and was it a Ryzen 5600? I think.
Yeah.
So it's upgradable. It runs pretty freaking well for what I needed to do. And I also have like 15 years of Steam games I have to catch up on that I've either purchased or have purchased back when I had a PC long ago. So Max Payne 3 was one of them. In the roundabout story of why I'm playing Max Payne 3. I was just really just itching to just try something that I played like 10 years ago on hardware then versus hardware now. And yeah, that game just still looks like freaking good. Like, holy crap, man.
Three is the one that didn't Rockstar take it over when 3 came out? Okay.
Yes. Yep. Remedy that, went on to do Alan Wake and then Quantum Break and Control. And so Rockstar took over, and this has like it's still has sort of that like noirish kind of hard-boiled detective-ish kind of thing the first 2 games are going through, but it's definitely toned back in that respect. And they sort of just like, oh man, remember Tony Scott, that the director of like what's a good Man on Fire? What's another Tony Scott movie that was Crimson Tide? I think that doesn't fit for Max Payne 3. But they like put on these like weird filters, text up on screen that like fades in and fades out, and it just kind of works because Max Payne in this part of the story is just such a washed up bum of a drunk that he is just stumbling through his miserable life and somehow winds up in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and is caught up in this like extraordinary like drug fueled conspiracy to harvest people's organs sanctioned by the government. I played this like 10 years ago, so sorry for those like mid-game spoilers, but it's sort of like Max Payne trying to like rise back from his very, very low depths after 2 into this like, triumph, sort of like a redemption story for himself.
Here's a question. Do you think Rockstar likes video games or movies more?
That is a good question, because this game is extremely cinematic. Like, when you kill the last...
All the Grand Theft Auto games, like, all of those are just stealing from so many films.
Yep.
They are it seems like they are such movie buffs that, yes, they make games, but they love movies.
They love movies.
This it's kind of its own thing, though, because, like, I don't know, there's not that... I'm not going to say there's not that many crime dramas set in Brazil, but at least not ones, like, from an American's perspective.
Yeah.
But, like, this is a... like, for example, like when you take out a room full of enemies and you get to the last enemy, it goes into this like bullet time, like sort of it follows the bullet to the enemy, and you see it like enter, and it's just like this is where like the text shows its age. It's like very like plastery red goop over their face. They look like, and you can just keep pressing the fire button and you'll see like Sam's like still shooting into him, and all these like bullet holes going through. It is it's still something. Like, it is gruesome, but it is like kind of fucking goofy at the same time, like extremely goofy.
Sure.
And it's just like it's just a really solid action game. It's frustrating though at times. Like, there'll be times when you keep dying and dying and dying and reloading the same room, and it's like, what the fucking hell? Like, why is this enemy getting me from across the fucking room in one shot? But then again, when the soundtrack by Health like starts playing, you're like, oh yeah, that's the shit right there. That's the dopamine.
Health is so good.
I know. And the soundtrack to this game is just it's one of the best. It's so phenomenal. It's so moody. There's a lot of like leitmotifs that go through the entire soundtrack. And then you got a whole like set of Tropicana music from the like just the setting itself that is so good. It's great.
I think the other game that you're playing has some really good sound to it also.
Oh yeah, Katana Zero, absolutely. I love that soundtrack. This is. You guys remember last week when the Switch suddenly got folders?
Oh, I remember. It was a momentous occasion.
Yes, big deal.
So
Big deal.
So what happened was I was like, oh, well, I'll make a folder and I'll make all the Devolver Digital games into one group. And I was like, oh yeah, I have Katana Zero on my Switch Lite. And I was always like, I beat in the game, but I never got, there's a secret boss fight
Cool.
in the game that happens. And it's really trippy. And I was like, I really want to get and like unlock that because I just haven't done it yet. So there's a certain set of conditions you have to do from the beginning, basically play through the whole game and make sure like you piss off your therapist in the game, and do a bunch of other stuff, and that unlocks it. You get the same ending. It's not going to change any endings or anything. But yeah, this is a sort of like 2D Hotline Miami-ish kind of like run room to room, kill every enemy. You have one hit. If you die, you have to restart. So basically, you have a move set. Basically, like you can slow down time, which allows you to, since you're armed with a sword, you can shoot back bullets at your enemies in slow motion. You can pick up like a random object in the room sometimes and chuck it at people. And then the caveat is at the end you see a video recording, like a VHS recording of the CCTV footage, the security footage, showing you in real time what happened. And you can rewind it and everything and things like that. So like anytime you're in slow motion, the camera still shows you like in real time. So you're doing these like weird ass wild things.
Isn't the conceit is like it's you as the ninja planning out what you're going to do and like mentally going through all the possibilities that could lose before you get to the right one?
Not really, because drugs are involved.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
And they play a big part in the story and your powers, it turns out. And things get very, very freaky very fast. It's not a super long game. There's like 12 stages, but there's there's so many twists and turns that happen during this game. Like I don't really want to spoil every detail, but like like a character will show up, and you're like, what the hell? Like who the fuck are you? Everyone's calling me the dragon. You're saying you're the dragon? Well, who the fuck are you? And then you find a videotape of that person in an earlier part of the story, and you put the tape in, and you start playing that character from the security footage, just for that one level that has this special ability, basically, that you hold the A button, everything stops, you use the control stick, and you dash forward and take out anything in your path. And along with your standard move sets of slowing down time, jumping on walls, and all those other things. So it's like the game does these little things that just give it just enough flair that by the end of it, I'm just like, I wish they could finish this story, because not that it ends on a cliffhanger, but it is like it feels a little incomplete by the time you finish it. But still, like I played through it twice just to get that secret boss ending, and yeah, I kind of want to play through it just one more time, because it controls great. It's just fast. It's furious. And the music, like you said, Bobby, it's like this very synthwave and then sometimes very grimy electronic, very dirty. It's great. I fucking love it.
I really struggled with that one when I played it. I just, for whatever reason, it did not click with me from a control perspective. And despite how cool so many things were going on, I just couldn't get into it. It's certainly better than My Friend Pedro, which I think is maybe the ultimate, like, oh, this looks awesome, and yet I cannot play this game because it just does not work with me at all.
Yeah, I was so hyped for My Friend Pedro. Like, I remember playing My Friend Pedro at the same PAX East I saw Katana Zero, and very quickly that year, because they were both released kind of sort of back to back in the few months, that I was like, man, I'm liking Katana Zero more than I like My Friend Pedro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, that was such a bummer, because when you see My Friend Pedro in motion in trailers, like doing skateboard stuff, ricocheting bullets off pans, and then going to, God, that game was so cool.
And then I just played it. I want to revisit it, but yeah, it's a control wise, it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
My Friend Pedro, especially compared to Katana Zero, and I just like the soundtrack, the style, the narrative flair it has, and I hope the designer. It's really just one person and a couple others that made this game, but I hope they said they're gonna do DLC someday. It might happen. Who knows? But
Alright.
The hell making games.
yeah, I do want to see if they build upon this game because it's a great foundation to say the
Nice.
least.
Some really cool
Very
games
cool.
there. Chase, I'll hop in
All
here.
old, but hey.
I'll be brief, and then
Okay.
we'll get to you and have you take us into the back half of the show. Transition that way.
Sure.
So I you know me, guys. I am a sucker for early access video games, and
You're a sucker, all right.
I am a sucker. I checked out a few new ones, and one I played a demo for during one of those Steam Fest, and thought it had some potential. It's called Planetcrafter. So I ended up buying the full, well, not the full release, but I've got the early access release for this game now, and this game wants to be Subnautica so bad, but you're on what looks to be Mars. So you're crash landed on Mars, and it is wild. Like the saturation of this game, like visually, like it's a lot to look at, especially being on that planet that's just like red and orange. Your eyes start to burn for a bit, but I think it's only 2 people making this game, so it is a passion project. But man, when I say it's a lot like Subnautica, like it is a lot like Subnautica, but lacking a lot of the polish, and it's really interesting. So in games like Subnautica, Minecraft, other types of these survival sim games, the way that you find resources and material, you have to do a little bit more like digging about, and like, hey, I found a biome that's going to have this material in it, where when you come out of the ship on the planet surface, like literally there's like 4 or 5 materials that you need to begin your crafting journey in this game. It's just littered, like fucking fruity pebbles got dumped on the planet surface. And you just walk up and you scan the rock and you get it and whatever it would be. And there is a pretty expansive upgrade path for this, and the whole thing is that you're terraforming the planet. And so the further that you do this, the more that you terraform, the more the skill trees it unlocks. It's got Astroneer and Subnautica from chat here. It is absolutely a good combination of those two, and I think it's got a lot of heart and potential, but it does feel a little janky right now. But it's 2 dudes in early access. I'm sure they'll find some polish for it. But it's a neat game. I don't think it's overly expensive right now. I think it's like $12 or $13, and there seems to be quite a bit that you can unlock with it.
Have a roadmap? Do we know when it's going to get to 1.0?
I have not seen one for it.
Okay.
It just hit early access pretty recently, and it's been popped up in my queue. $18. Thank you, chat. It's fine. Like it's got an okay look to it for the most part, and it plays pretty all right. I could see it being a pretty demanding game if you wanted to max out settings based off of just the planet and going through it. But I'll keep dipping my toe in that and kind of checking on it as they're adding more stuff to it. But truth be told, the game that's really captivated me for the most part over the last week has been a game called Core Keeper. And this just hit early access. And I saw a Polygon article on this after having it recommended on Steam as well. And the easiest way I could pitch this is it's a lot like Stardew Valley without the like buying and selling of goods and the social aspects that you have in that game. So think a lot about when you go down into the mines of Stardew Valley and even some of the light farming mechanics. So this is a co-op survival game. I think you can have up to 8 people playing on it. But they do classes. And so you start the game off, you can be a miner, you can be a farmer. There's a few other spots that you can choose as well. And that gets you an initial start on a leg up because there's like 5 or 6 skill sets that you're upgrading by just doing things in the game. So combat, mining, gardening, cooking. And it does have a hunger meter on it, but not a super invasive one, but that also is how you heal up as well. And so you just have some other buffs and debuffs that you'll get afflictions to whenever you're out playing around. So the whole thing is you're down in this underground area And it is a game. Well, I mean, chat's saying it's a game made for people with friends. I would say it'd be best played that way, but I've played it by myself the entire time, and I'm having a hell of a time. Really enjoying it. There are boss battles in this, some pretty vicious boss battles, and I can see like I need to level up my character to do it solo, but if I had people with me, it wouldn't be as bad. But they do the whole thing like, hey, you just made a wooden pickaxe, now you're making a copper one, now you're making a tin one, iron, and you're upgrading it that way. But you're building armor sets as well. But it gets pretty deep. Like I've just now got a point where I can start to use electronics, and I can build out bases and have that. It is top down. It looks a lot like Stardew Valley, both in its design and just the way it's positioned. I'm having a great time with it. It is pretty interesting how they do the bosses in this and like the biomes. And when you first start it, there's some alien looking architecture that says like this is going to need power to it. And there's 3 vessels that go around it. And it looks like each one of those vessels requires a core that you get from a boss. And then that's going to open up this alien technology that I think would even expand this game a bit further. So it's really fucking slick. I'm having a great time with it. I would love to play it with people, but having a good time solo as well. And I'll be putting some more time into that.
That's also on PC?
That is on PC. Early access on PC. I believe that will eventually make its way to console. It's got full controller support right now if you want to play it that way. I'm using a mouse and keyboard. But this is one of those games that I think on a Steam Deck I'd have a pretty good time with as well. Just kicking back with that.
Sure.
So as far as like games that like only I've been playing, that's it. And I'll start to bring Chase in. And I know Jiggy, you have not played the entire release, but you've played the demo of Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. So
I've watched a little bit on Twitch of other people playing it, and yeah, it's.
And you're also a Kirby connoisseur.
A little bit, yeah. I enjoy the little Kirby. I got hold on.
You've been on podcasts specifically to talk about Kirby.
I have a little Kirby amiibo right here.
Very nice.
I also have one of the best ones, King DDD.
Ooh,
Sure,
nice.
sure.
Big Daddy, of course. But
So-
yeah, like Kirby's great.
Yeah, this is my first time with a Kirby game directly. I mean, like I've played a few of them, like at friends' house and things like that, but I've always appreciated Kirby. Just never been like I got to play those games. And when I saw that they were changing up the formula a bit at that direct or whatever it was, I got pretty excited. And I was really into the demo, and I thought that was playing very well. And I got the game, and I noticed that I was having a really hard time staying connected to the game. And I'm enjoying it, but I think that what I was having a problem with was like, I don't think that this is a game that I should play a lot of in one setting. And I think it's a game that like if I go in and I knock out a few levels, maybe a challenge arena or a challenge level, I'm pretty good. And if I just I find myself, if I keep going at like, okay, you're just going to keep working through this world, I get kind of uninspired by what it's doing on long periods of time. Because it, so far for me, like once you kind of played one of the levels, you've played a lot of them. There's some cool mechanics that they bring into it, but when I say mechanics, it's more like big mouth and setting or mouthful mode. Sorry, but
Yeah.
I do like it. I don't take that as like I don't like this game, but I am not as into it as I was when I left that demo. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I think the demo gave you just enough of a taste that's kind of the session you want every time you play this game. I think if you play more than that demo's worth of content, that's where you start to get into that bit of repetitive nature. I think if I was 10 years old, I'd have no problem with this, and I'd probably just burn right through it. But as somebody who is over 30 at this point, there's definitely I just don't need to keep playing this. But yeah, it's pretty good. it's a pretty good Kirby game. I like a lot of Kirby games. I'm a big fan of the 2D style that they've done. Kirby's Dream Land 2 is one of my favorite games, and there definitely was maybe a little fatigue of that kind of Kirby game. We've gotten quite a few of them, and they'll throw in a gimmick here or there. Like I think of like Kirby Planet Robobot. Like okay, Kirby's now in a mech suit, and that changes all the different powers. Great. Or even Kirby's Dream Land 2, you get on the animal friends, and it changes all the powers when you're on the different animal friends. But this one being in 3D, I think does try to... It gestures towards it being a more... a deeper video game. We talk about this a lot in our Quick Look. Bobby, our Quick Look goes up next week, I think?
It's going to go up Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. So Tuesday next week, and we talk about this a decent amount. I feel like, and Nintendo didn't say this, but it's almost like we kind of got sold a bill of goods that this is like the Mario Odyssey of Kirby games. And I don't think that's true. I think the game is pretty linear and feels a lot like a traditional kind of Kirby game with short, very, very linear levels, but you're just in 3D. And the gimmick this time is the mouthful mode, and it's very similar to basically every other Kirby game that I've played, except that I'm now moving in 3 dimensions instead.
I mean, it's hard though to top the intro when you're getting Kirby driving along to some city pop, and
that intro fucking rules.
Vibing, and I'm like, yeah, let's ride this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
So I keep a list of all the games that I played on my phone, but then under that, I usually try to keep like, for our Game of the Year stuff, what are some of my favorite new characters, or what are my favorite moments? So I just kind of have those so I can quickly get them in there. I only have one moment of the year contender right now, and it's Kirby anime opening. That is what I called it.
It's got ducks and ducklings, man.
So it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
Kirby
fucking
really
rules.
quick. So here's the other piece of it. I think I am now nearing the end of World 3. I'm almost to the boss of World 3. I feel that by the time I hit the first level or second level of World 2, I had almost every ability at that point in time.
Yeah.
I'd seen it. And not only that, but I had leveled up, evolved a good portion of those already. And I think that there's probably, based off what I'm seeing, maybe like anywhere from 8 to 10 worlds in this game. And to have all of that so early on, like, kind of a bummer for me. I was expecting to maybe get a little bit more. Maybe there is some stuff that happens with like mouthful mode, or
I think
those...
the challenge and kind of the replayability of Kirby though games, especially, it's not so much like, oh, how fast I can level up all these things. It's there are secrets in every level, and I'm not going to get everything the first go around. But the returning and getting back with like knowing what my abilities are and everything, and the layout and everything, and getting 100% in Kirby games, that's the real challenge. Like Kirby always has been just something for. This is definitely geared towards younger players who are just starting out and just want to try something. And for the older players, it's, there are secrets here, and some of these secrets are kind of cool, and some of the puzzles, not the like hardest puzzles on earth, but they're very clever in certain ways. That's what I always find rewarding in Kirby games.
It's a good platformer for kids, and then it's a good exploration game for adults in that way.
It's a good palate cleanser.
It definitely is a good palate cleanser. It's a chill game. It's really easy to play. It's easy to pick up. It's easy to drop, and those are all good things. It's just not blowing my socks off like I kind of wanted to. And even that challenge that you're mentioning, Jiggy, of going back to old levels, I even feel like that's been toned down from some of the older Kirby games. Going back to Dreamland 2, my favorite one of all of them, there are levels where there are specific blocks that are keeping you, that you need to bring a specific power that you probably don't even get for like another 2 worlds. And then you have to come back to that area,
Yeah.
keep that power the whole time to get that one single door open. Whereas this one, everything you need to unlock everything in the stage is already available to you in the stage. For most of the stuff, at least so far as I've played, and I haven't played super far. I'm in the middle of World 2, but everything I need to finish the stage is in the stage, and that's fine. And sometimes I actually do miss stuff, and I need to come back. I think the boss battles are probably the best levels in the game, in that you play through stuff, you don't know all the secrets, and when you play through that boss battle, once you finish it, it says, okay, here's all the other ways you could finish this boss battle to get all the secret stuff. Did you try using the sword on this guy the whole time instead of using any other power or no power at all? Beat this boss in under 2 minutes. Beat this boss without taking damage. Some of those things you kind of get automatically just by playing. Like the first time I played that boss, I beat him in under 2 minutes because I played the same boss in the demo, so I already knew how to beat this guy. And so it was pretty quick. But then it opens up, hey, did you try beating this guy with the sword? I'm like, no, maybe I should try that. So some of that stuff is in there.
Ultimately, we were just
wish it was more.
We were freaking out. I mean, we even talked about it one night in the stream, and I think when you were in chat, Jiggy, and we were talking about like how good it is, and it's great. Like, it's not a bad game by any stretch, but I will say that maybe my eyes were bigger than my appetite for this one.
I think a lot of people put like, oh, this is going to be the Mario, like Chase says, the Mario Odyssey of Kirby games, and I think like a lot of that is on us, the audience, because we project
100%.
like, oh, they're obviously going to be doing an open world Kirby game now that it's 3D, and then we get, oh, it's just level to level base, which I'm fine with, but
yeah,
like I think like burying the lead, they kind of pulled off the 3D Kirby game and it, like kind of knocked it out of the park on the first go.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean but that is it though. It is a 3D Kirby game. It's not. It is a Kirby game first, and then it happens to be in 3D, and that's fine. It works great. But when I see the stuff first party Nintendo has put out on the Switch, I've seen them make Breath of the Wild, which changed the way we think about Zelda games. We saw Mario Odyssey, which we had Mario Galaxy and some other games that kind of changed the way we thought about Mario, but Odyssey did feel like a different jump. Like this is a different kind of game than the Marios we've gotten before. And seeing Kirby coming out, thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be the same. Like we have a trend now that we're thinking about with Nintendo. Are we going to see a deeper, more interesting, more mechanically dense Kirby game? And we don't quite get that. And what we get is still a really fun experience. It's just not what I was hoping for.
Yep. So that's my hot take on Kirby. I am going to finish it, but I'm going to take my time and sneak it in between some of the waves this year.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I'm going to do the same.
Question: do you guys think it's going to do Luigi Mansion 3 numbers?
I think in this year especially.
10 mil? I mean, over time, obviously, not this year, but
that's tough. I don't know if Kirby has the same cachet as Mario characters, even if Luigi is not the most famous Mario character, though he should be.
I also think though that maybe I feel like I'm pretty tuned into the outlets that would be talking about this game, and I feel like it has not had nearly the impact that I thought it was going to. Like the initial reviews were showing like 9s out of 10 and like 8s out of 10, which is really high, of course. And I keep thinking about like this year with Legends carrying Pokemon in a different direction, of course, but Nintendo now with Zelda getting delayed until next year, they've got this, and then they got the new Pokemon game in the fall. There's not a lot. I mean, there's a Splatoon game also, which we'll do.
Splatoon, there's Switch Sports,
Advance Wars eventually.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3.
But I think Kirby at
some Metroid Prime hanging around somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. I don't know if it'll do Luigi or not. Like it. A lot of these other games that maybe have not done gangbusters on prior consoles have seemingly done very well when they've gotten the spotlight on Switch. And I would never tell somebody not to buy this game. Like I think it's worth picking up. I think it's a very fun game. I just don't know if it has like Luigi's Mansion
I mean,
power.
to me, it wouldn't surprise me either way. I could totally
Yeah.
see everyone who bought Luigi's Mansion for the exact same reasons they bought Luigi's Mansion. Either they think it's cool, or they played previous games and wanted to check this one out, or they have a young kid who wants to play a game with them in co-op. For all those, you could say all those things about both Luigi's Mansion 3 and Kirby Forgotten Land. So totally wouldn't shock me if it hit 10 million or more, but it also wouldn't shock me if it went like, oh, it sold a few mil.
Yeah.
I could see.
So
Either way,
that's the Kirby talk. There might be more later on in the year. Who knows? But Chase, what else you got going on?
I played a few things. So we played some Mario Kart. Is that quick look out, or does that one go out tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, or yesterday if you're listening to the archive.
Yeah.
So we played some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We played those new tracks from the booster course pack, and when I played that, it got me thinking, I like Mario Kart. I would like to play some more Mario Kart. And seeing some of those new tracks that were coming from Mario Kart Tour in the booster course pack that I'd never seen before because I didn't play Tour, I thought, well, maybe I should boot up Tour and give that a shot. Also, I want to correct, I made a mistake last week where I said the Ninja Hideout track was not from Tour. I thought that was a brand new one.
It is Tour, right?
It is from Tour. I guess I just didn't see the label on that one like I saw on the other one that had the Paris one that had the Tour label on it. Anyway, it is from Tour. So I booted up Tour on my iPad. I played a good chunk of that, and that game frustrates the fuck out of me. Has either of you guys tried out Tour?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Bobby, you have? So it feels kind of wrong to begin with.
The verticality?
Well, no, it goes for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of an endless runner in that way, where it's just automatically driving for you. It actually feels a lot like you're playing with the when you're playing Mario Kart 8 and you have like the auto mode on, and it puts that little antenna off the back of your cart, and it kind of steers for you. It feels like there's a lot of assistance happening in the iPad version in Tour, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't make it feel tight. It just feels really loose, and it feels like it kind of shoves you along the track as you go, which is kind of annoying. I don't really like the touch controls. I really wish I could just have a controller in there. I understand that it's on an iPad, so that's how it has to be, but it just feels kind of wrong. But there's so much to like in there. It has so many different kinds of tracks that are brand new. It's got some remastered tracks from old Mario Kart games that look pretty good. It finds ways of changing up the tracks. Maybe not every time you play them, but it has like so many different variations of the same track that has different obstacles in it, or maybe a different route in it. And all that stuff is really cool. There's a ton of cards. There's a ton of characters. There's so many goddamn characters in this game.
So many.
And there's so many costumes for them. But then it's a fucking gacha game, because that's how you get all that stuff.
Yep.
They shoot out of a pipe, and now I have a cart that looks like a bullet bill, which is awesome. But I know that I had to earn the fucking currency to do that, because I'm sure as shit not putting any money into this game. But it's frustrating because all this stuff is really cool, and I wish it showed up in a proper Mario Kart game, but it doesn't, and it sucks that it's just all here.
Well, I look, I think it's inevitable, and I'm not the type of person to be like, I think that live service games are trash, because I think that there's some value there. I really do. But if there was ever a need from Nintendo to make a live service game, I think Mario is probably the Mario Kart is probably the most logical choice there. For that very reason, they can do new car passes, they can do characters, pretty easy to bring them into it, courses. What they're doing right now with the DLC, And I think that they wanted that for Tour. And the game's somewhat popular, I believe.
It works. It works. I just don't love the act of playing it, especially because Mario Kart has such a specific feel, and this just doesn't feel like that at all. And that's kind of a bummer. Anyway, I'm probably not going to put any more time into Tour, but I did get on my like lucky pull. I got a Metal Mario, and he's kicked a lot of ass for me. Done really really well with Metal Mario. So pretty happy about that. I've been trying. I was trying so hard to get a Shy Guy, and there's a battle pass in there because of course there fucking is. And I got to the level where I was like, oh well, this is where I get like an orange Shy Guy because that's the level on the battle pass. And then when I realized when I looked at it and then didn't get him, oh wait a minute, it said like I needed to get to like level 8 or whatever. What's going on? And I get there and it goes, oh no, you need to pay like the premium thing to unlock those extra characters over here. I'm like, fuck, I just want to play as a Shy Guy. Shy Guy's the best.
Give us more money.
I know.
Shy Guy demands it.
It's bullshit. Just absolute bullshit.
Is it just also standard red Shy Guy, or you get a choice of colored Shy Guy?
There's all sorts of fucking Shy Guys. There's a pink Shy Guy. There's an orange Shy Guy.
Every one of them. All the guys are shy.
Everyone is here. It's pretty good. It does have the thing that I think is maybe the most egregious thing in mobile / gacha games, where it caps you on the amount of time that you can spend on the game. I mean, it's not going to kick you out, but it's saying, it says, hey, you've reached your maximum amount of experience for this 24-hour period. See you tomorrow if you want to earn any more experience. And then it also has like a separate counter for coins, and you can use coins for some specific gacha mechanics. And that just sucks. It's like, let me play your fucking game. If I want to sit there all day and play your fucking game, you should let me play your fucking game. That's some real bullshit. Anyway,
especially a game that's wanting to take your money.
Yeah. I'm never going to play Mario Kart Tour again, so it's fine.
Fair.
But I do look forward to seeing more of those tracks show up in the booster course pack for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I finished Triangle Strategy.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
how was it?
It's okay. It's fine. I ended up having a pretty decent time with it. I still really like the characters. I like all the different things they can do. You get a lot of different characters that have some unique abilities that really change the way I go into battles. I thought that was pretty cool. The story branch that I got was not the good ending. It was a fine ending. I could see if I believe that game has 4 different endings. There is a golden route where you do everything correctly, the true ending kind of thing. And then there's 3 endings that you can kind of make a hash of it in one way or another. And I liked my ending. I thought it was fine, but there were some specific characters that I knew I could get that I want to get on my team. And to do that, I would have to play the game again and make some different choices. But that game has a New Game Plus mode, which allows you to bring back all the characters that you've already unlocked.
Oh, cool.
Keeps all the weapons and unlocks that you have for everything, and just lets you play the story again and make different decisions. And they give you a whole lot of information so you don't make the same choices twice, or so you can make a more informed decision. So usually that game will give you 3 different choices on dialogue options, and when you play the game the first time, you kind of just choose it, and it'll give a very Walking Dead style, oh, Sarah Noah's convictions will remember that, or some, like, it's that kind of bullshit. But it doesn't tell you how the convictions have been strengthened. Like, okay, sure, whatever. I made a choice and convictions were strengthened. Great. Now that I'm in New Game Plus mode, when I get to those same dialogue options, it now tells me, hey, this is going to be more of the morality choice or the utility choice or the liberty choice. And so you know, okay, I want to pick this one because it gets me more points for liberty, and I know if I have this many liberty points, I can then unlock this character, or it makes it easier to go down this path, and that's what I want to do. So that's really nice. You can also go to your encampment where you can specifically see, oh, I have this many morality points, and I know I need to get to 1,600 morality points to unlock this cool barrel thing, this barrel character who's fucking great. His name is Decimal. He's kind of like a a mathematician class from Final Fantasy Tactics, where you can do a bunch of different crazy bullshit.
Hell yeah.
But you have to get him to get him. You have to have 1,600 morality points, and I didn't know what I had. All of your points also carry over from your last playthrough, so it makes it really easy to get those newer characters, those later game characters, really early in your second playthrough. So I just got Decimal. I'm pretty excited about it. The only issue for me is that I was planning on playing this new playthrough with a bunch of characters that I kind of didn't play with in my first playthrough, thinking, okay, I'm going back through the starting levels. They're going to be easy. I can put in a bunch of these new guys who are all like level 10 instead of level 30. And I'll just have a good time. I'll try playing this game in a new way. And the game says, no. If you're playing New Game Plus, these guys are level 34 in the first fucking chapter. Like, oh, fuck. I still need to use my best team. There are ways to level them outside of the main story. So I could go back and do some grinding to get those other guys up to shape. But I think at this point, I'm just going to kind of get those other characters that I want to get, go through the golden route, and have a good time, and skip a bunch of dialogue. Oh, it feels so good to skip all these fucking cutscenes I've already seen. Oh, it's so fucking good.
Has Triangle Strategy reached the we're not talking about it until Game of the Year time?
Yeah, probably. I might mention it one more time when I finish the golden route, which should be relatively quick. That game's got 20 chapters in it, and I beat it on Sunday, and I'm already through chapter 6 on this New Game Plus playthrough. So I think that'll go a lot quicker, because I'm only watching the cutscenes when it's a decision that I didn't make the last time. And so far that's worked out really well, and I can move through that fucking game, which was my big issue the first time, because that game was just so fucking slow, and it felt like I was barely playing the game. I was more just watching the game, and now I feel like I'm getting back into it. And I'm having a better time. I'm having a lot better time on this New Game Plus playthrough, and
Nice.
And seeing a lot of those mechanics, and getting to use those late game characters in these early game situations. That's been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
So that's it for video games. I know we want to talk about April preview, and I'm excited to do that. And I'm going to keep this short. We don't have Johnny here, and I think it's a shame to talk about Halo without Johnny. But guys, we got to fucking talk about this Halo show.
Do we?
I mean, I don't have, what is it, Paramount Plus this shit's on?
Hey, I also don't have Paramount.
Oh, okay. We're doing crimes
Chase doesn't
today.
have any streaming service. He's stuck in
crimes
2000.
were made, but they were made against me by this fucking Halo show.
I was going to say, I don't really have the interest to commit crimes for this show, so lay it on me, Chase. How is it?
Okay. Let me say, there's a lot of discourse going around about this show right now, and I don't really want to get into all that. I do have the same fanboy problem that everybody does, though, and I think it's important enough that it needs to get mentioned. You both have played Halo games before, am I right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That Master Chief guy.
Hmm.
You know what his face looks like?
No.
No, because they specifically don't take off the helmet in any of the fucking games, or when they do, they don't show the face.
Oh no, you're not telling me they
The first fucking episode, Jiggy,
Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd this. Holy
he
shit.
absolutely just takes off the helmet and he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm this guy."
Damn.
And it's like, what are you doing? I get it. I get it on one hand. It's a television show. You need to show your lead actor's face. You want to show some fucking emotion out of that. The easiest way to do that is to show a face. We have The Mandalorian. We have a proof point of, like, look at this. You can have an actor who doesn't have to show their face and yet can also convey a lot of good emotion and can still act even though you can't see them making facial expressions.
But not everybody's Pedro Pascal, man.
You're right. You're right. You know what? Find somebody who's Pedro Pascal and have him be in the suit, and then You know what you get to do? You get to Darth Vader that shit and let somebody else be the voice actor while the other person gets to do all the physical acting.
Hey,
and you could get
they
the fucking John Spartan goddamn 117 voice actor. Because he sounds like shit. Oh, God, he sounds like shit in the show. He just sounds like shit.
Hang on a second, Chase.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
I want you to convince me
Yeah.
that anything since 2007 that has happened with Halo that makes you have any fucking...
Oh, no, I can't. Yeah, no. I already know where you're going. Halo lost itself when Bungie stopped making it.
And look, like, some people were dumb enough to say Halo was their game of the year last year, and it's fine, but it still feels like an afterthought. Everything about that game felt like an afterthought. The world felt like an afterthought. The people felt like an afterthought. They didn't even have the thought to bring co-op with it when it launched. And the problem is, I think that it seems like this is way too late. And I understand that they've been trying to do this for a long time.
It is. We've had other visual media Halo things that have come out that have also not really been that great. We've had that Neil Blomkamp's making a Halo movie rumor that went around for fucking decades.
But here's the other piece of it.
Yeah.
You've got a show that everything leading up to its availability to us as the public, showrunners, etc., have been very quick to dismiss involvement of like, hey, we're not looking at the video game for this. We're doing our own thing.
I think that was taken out of context. I think the showrunner came out and said, like, hey, we played the game. Like, yeah, obviously we played the fucking game. It's just we played the game first, and then we went to 343, and we didn't have to talk about the fucking game because we already did that, so we talked to them about all this other stuff. I think that's where that quote came from, hearing the stuff. But your point is still valid. It feels...
The point
feels
is this.
Wrong.
The point is this, is that I know that you don't like this aspect of The Mandalorian where it does try to definitely go back to a different time period for Star Wars fans and bring these threads together. But there's nothing here. Like, they should be sliding sideways through fan service with this series to get back in good grace with those people who were obsessed with this shit 20 plus years ago.
And they are and they aren't. Like, there are certain aspects of that show, of the Halo show, not Mandalorian, that look exactly... It's incredible how they have recreated the Mjolnir armor of the suit. All the weapons look perfect. The other Spartans, there's a goddamn pelican that comes through, and you're like, holy shit, that's the fucking pelican. A lot of the stuff, pitch perfect. Of, wow, you certainly recreated this shit. I think the first episode only shows elites. It doesn't show any other Covenant creatures, but the elites look awesome. I'm like, okay, wow, yeah, you guys really took your time. It's not just, hey, we took like some random alien thing that we found on, some Unity bullshit, and we just decided to put that into the show. It's like they did their homework on that stuff. That stuff feels really good. The plot is totally different. It's its own thing, and I kind of don't care. It's fine. It's.
I was gonna say, was the plot of Halo ever that good?
No.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of whatever story, and I'm fine with them telling their own story. That part's not a problem. They definitely make some choices. There's Halsey, the doctor who created the Spartans. She is now she is the mom of Miranda Keyes, Captain Keyes' daughter. And also Captain Keyes and Miranda Keyes are now black, which is fine. Like, it's not the Halo story, but it's fine. Like, that stuff I don't even mind. But his fucking face. Like, that's what I get back to. It's like, any of this stuff is whatever, you can do whatever you want with it, that's fine. But I feel like a pretty important fucking part about Master Chief is you never see his goddamn face. And as an adult, I guess you see his face as a child, or they talk about him as a child. during this part of the program, but like once he gets that armor, you never see his face again, and that's fine. And in the first goddamn episode, he takes off his helmet. He looks like this low-rent John Bernthal bullshit, and he sounds weird. He doesn't sound like the goddamn chief, and it's very weird.
Maybe they should have gotten
continue.
Carl Urban.
They could have done anything else with that decision, and I think it would have been better. One last thing before I go, and this is just like a quick thing. It has not one but two sequences that are Doom movie. Hey, we went into first person, and here's the HUD on the goddamn screen, and they look terrible. They look as terrible as the Doom movie, and I hope they keep doing them. Because
I feel like you gotta go all or nothing. Like you gotta go like hardcore Henry or just don't do it at all. Like they should have just like, okay, for one episode it's gonna be all first person.
Hey,
like,
maybe
that would have been a cool concept.
Maybe
They can't do that apparently.
Well, this is not the Netflix. This is not the Netflix model. They're only one episode is out, and they're doing them weekly. So maybe there is an episode that is.
They already did it now, so it's like, well, why do it a whole episode if we already did it in one episode for a little bit?
Fair, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep watching this out of a morbid curiosity. I'm not going to talk about it ever again unless they do something incredibly egregious, which they might. Who knows? I'm still baffled that you took his fucking helmet off. What are you doing? What are you doing? We've had decades of Halo that have not done that.
We're moving on forever.
Sure.
And never talking about it again.
All right, let's talk about March. Jiggy, you were not here for our show in March because you're not a regular cast member of this show. So we're gonna have you listen, but you didn't make your list of like the top games for March. So we're gonna treat you like Johnny for this one section of the show.
Well, Johnny had one good game on there that I would.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So my previous month's picks were Ignited Steel, which we played on Casual Monday. And I know Bobby's been playing some more of that game, and you think it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good one of those.
I need to wait for the Steam Deck to come out, but as a fan of games like Into the Breach, I think I'll really like Ignited Steel, and can't wait to play more of that. I have Relayer, which I've talked about on the podcast last week, I believe. Got through some of that demo. Need to play more of that demo. But it's so much like the other games that I'm playing, Triangle Strategy and Super Robot Wars, that I just don't need to buy another one of those right now until I finish some of the ones that I'm playing. And then I had Kirby, and we talked about Kirby just now.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby, you also had Kirby.
Yep.
You had Far Changing Tides, which we've done a quick look of, that's out and up, and you're a big fan.
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
And Tunic, I believe you have said is your game of the year. So I think you're pretty confident about Tunic.
I just completed that fully. I
really want to play Tunic.
I saw. Yeah, you got all the achievements. You did everything you can do.
I love that game. It's so good. God, it's so good.
I got to beat Death's Door first, and then I can feel like
a really cool game to play after that game.
Death's Door is great. I need to beat it, like I said, because I can't buy games right now, especially ones that I will not intend, play right away. Well, I would play it right away, but yeah, that game just looks so cute and charming, and it pushes all the right buttons for me. Like, oh, cool, I'm a cute little fox. It's Zelda-like, and it apparently is really hard. No, I don't. The only Xbox I have that is recent is a launch Xbox One.
Yeah, but you have a PC.
Yeah, your
which
PC.
Is just as
I have
just
a PC. I have a PC. But I don't do yet the subscription model, Ultimate Game Pass at the moment. Down the line, maybe if I get an Xbox Series X, I can justify getting a subscription model like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Bobby, the last game you had on your picks was Weird West, which is a game that you have been talking my ear off. It feels like in our text.
Man, I can't wait.
It's out tomorrow. Yes, it's out on the 31st.
Yes, I don't know if it's unlocked yet or not. I don't know what the time frame for that is, but I can't fucking wait for Weird West.
Okay. and I'm sure we'll do a quick look on
It got
that
delayed.
at some
It
point.
was supposed to be out early this year, and it got pushed back to March. It was supposed to be out in January.
Okay.
So yeah,
we'll see more about that. Who? That's made by Arcane, isn't it?
X Arcane. So it's
Okay.
it's a Devolver joint, and it's some dudes that worked on Dishonored. And
Got
I
it.
think it brings some things that you might like from that, but apparently it earns its name very well.
Okay. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Wasteland series, just maybe in perspective.
Yep.
Kind of that isometric-y top-down.
I'm very
all right. And Johnny/Jiggy, let's see what you had in here. You had Kirby.
Yeah,
which,
what game's that pick?
Yeah, good
choice.
Good pick on that one on Johnny. You had Ignited Steel, which we talked about. And then oh, Jiggy,
what was I thinking?
You had to go and pick Chocobo GP, which apparently
I didn't learn my lesson back in the day on the PS1 when I had the demo disc
No,
for this.
you really didn't. I mean, we had Mario Kart DLC that came out this month. What do you need to play Chocobo GP for?
It's got chocobos in it. Don't you want to race as a chocobo? Like,
all kidding aside, I hear that game is fine, but also really scummy when it comes to microtransactions.
What's up with those microtransactions in this fucking game?
It's like they made Mario Kart Tour, but they put it out on the Nintendo Switch. That's what it sounds like.
Square Enix, what are you doing?
Oof,
Oh,
that
boy.
sounds... Square Enix is doing a lot the right now.
They're killing me in the quote tweets, bro.
It's a rough time over there at Square Enix. Let's get into some free games for the month of April. On Xbox Games with Gold, on your Xbox One, you can get a game called Another Sight from April 1st to April 30th. This is a puzzle platform where you control a girl and a cat. It's like in a London steampunky world.
A pleasant look to it.
It seems fine, sure. And then also Hue, HUE, is available from April 16th to May 15th. This is a different puzzle platformer, and this time you control the background color, which affects the objects that are different colors in the foreground. So like, hey, here's a barrel that's purple, but I can make the background purple, and that means that the barrel disappears into the background, and now I can run past the barrel. It seems really cool. It seems like a neat indie concept that I remember it being talked about when it first came out. That one might be a fun one to check out when you can get it April 16th to May 15th.
I saw this and I thought it was like, oh, is this to control my Hue lights in the house?
Ooh.
They're giving that away for free on Xbox?
Sure, yeah, wow. What a great app.
Yeah.
On Xbox 360, we're getting Outpost Coloki X, which is available from April 1st to April 15th, and it's kind of like a SimCity in space thing. You have like a space station and you're building stuff onto it. I don't think it's good, but it is free. And also MX versus ATV Alive, which is a racing.
I feel like this has been on a free Xbox 360 game several times.
There's a lot of MX versus ATV games, so maybe
but
different
I think
ones.
Alive has been on this one here before.
I believe it. I would totally believe it.
Gotta go back to the well.
I can check my 360 and plug it in, and it might be on there.
So as always, you can also download all of these games on your Xbox Series X or S. Basically, you can go backwards on any of these things, but obviously you can't go forward.
Question: where are the Series X games with gold?
Great question. You know where they are? They're on fucking Game Pass. That's it. I know.
Sometimes I'm paying for two things. I might as well get the one where I can keep it with this subscription. But I understand.
I think you're right. And good on PlayStation for at least giving us a brand new game.
They're gonna stop Xbox Live Gold
don't even
at some
say
point.
good on PlayStation.
Yeah, no, I can't say good on PlayStation after hearing the bullshit they're gonna do with PlayStation Now and play us. We're not talking about that. Yeah, it's next week. But let's move on to PS Plus games that we are getting for this next month. Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. That was that PvPvE game that I remember Patrick, when we did whatever preview that was pretty big into the idea of that. You played a little bit of that, right, Bobby?
I did play a little bit of it. It's fine. It reminded me a lot of For Honor, and when I say that, it's like people got really good really quick at that game and made it damn near impossible to try and solo it. I think the price is really I mean, this is free, but it was pretty low price for what it was.
No better price than free.
Yeah.
So it's worth checking out. I think it's worth checking out. They got some cool classes and how they're doing it, and the Robin Hood lore. Some neat stuff.
Maybe it being free will get the an influx of new players that will really help make that better. Or maybe it's just a feeding frenzy for the veteran players out there. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of losers that I can crush.
Sure.
We're also getting on PlayStation 4, which compatible with your PlayStation 5, Slay the Spire. Oh, I think Hood, Outlaws and Legends is also, it's a PS4 and a PS5, so you can get the PS5 version if you're on the higher console. But PlayStation 4 exclusive ones, Slay the Spire, which is just fucking awesome. It's just one of the best games. And then also SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which is that remaster of that 2003 SpongeBob game. I feel like we just last month it was on Games with Gold. There was a different SpongeBob game that was free.
So
there's so many of them, man.
MX versus ATV.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, it was that.
Yeah, there you go. Good one. Bobby, I'm going to throw it to you real quick to talk about some Game Pass stuff before we get into the April games.
Yeah, as Chase mentioned, I left it on here. We talked about it last month, but Weird West, if you're watching this live, is coming out on the 31st. But they haven't really shown a whole lot for April. You got MLB The Show 22, which we'll talk about here in a moment, and then a game called Chinatown Detective Agency, which is going to be coming out on April 7th. And I don't think we're talking about that.
No, I took a look at a trailer because I thought maybe you put that up there because you thought it was interesting, but then I don't. What's the last point-and-click adventure game you've played, Bobby? Exactly. That's. I was like, okay, I don't think Bobby put this up here because he was excited for it.
No, these
the last one I played was SpongeBob. Not SpongeBob. Strong Bads. Strong Bads. Cool game for attractive people.
Sure.
Episode 1 because I didn't play any of the other episodes.
Machinarium? Is that one?
Yeah, Machinarium. That's what I was going to say. I think I played a little bit of that a long time ago.
But those are the only two that have been announced so far for April.
Okay. Continuing the theme, April pretty thin compared to some of the other months we've done, so maybe we can get through this relatively quickly. On April 5th, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is coming out to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. I have only ever played the very first LEGO Star Wars game. And I thought it was pretty good back in the day on the 360. This one, just watching a trailer for it and having really not paid attention to any of the LEGO games between then and now, they've done a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
They talk now.
They talk. It looks way more faithful to the movies, other than, the Lego parts. I'm kind of interested to see more of it. And I want to see what it plays like, because all the trailers are just, hey, we're recreating movie scenes.
I have thought about seeing if Sarah would want to play this.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Like, I'm sure it'll go on sale sometime, and there's a lot here with it. There's a lot of video game there for the money.
Yeah, I mean it's covering 9 fucking films.
Yeah,
of Star Wars.
I just don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. As Bobby mentioned, also on the 5th, MLB The Show 22. This is the one with Shohei Ohtani on the cover. That is coming out for the first time on Switch. Also PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. It's the baseball. Baseball's coming out. Probably not. I'm at a point where I don't think I need this style of baseball game.
You're not curious how it will run on the Switch on the go?
I'm pretty sure I know how it's going to run.
Chase, That's fair. You liked not Super Robot Wars. You love that.
Oh, I do.
What's the
Super Mega Baseball?
Yes. We didn't cover it last month, but they had a stealth drop. Super Mega Baseball 3 is now on Game Pass.
Yeah, and good for them. That developer got acquired by EA, and we haven't heard anything from them since. So I imagine there's going to be some new EA baseball game eventually that might take some of that. And that's probably what I'm more interested in. If the MLB license goes to Jiggy put it in chat, but that's an idea. I like that. But if EA can get the baseball license to get actual player names and stuff in there, and it would play closer to Super Mega Baseball, I think that's the game I'm really looking for. That manages to mix that arcadey style with the real players and stadiums. That's what I kind of want, and we'll see if I get that eventually. I'm sure this is going to be great. Like these games are always solid, and I don't know. We'll see. If it got real cheap, I'd probably end up picking it up. My problem is, if I play a baseball game, I want to play like 2 games of baseball and then probably put it down for a few months. Whereas to get your money's worth, you need to play hours and hours of fucking baseball. And I don't think I like baseball, but I don't think I like video game baseball that much to dedicate that much time to it.
Sure.
Moving on. On the 7th, we are getting Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Okay, here's what I know about Chrono Cross.
Perfect game.
It is a sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's a good start. The sequel, it's not... I don't think it takes place in the same world.
Spiritual sequel.
Spiritual successor. Okay. And yes, as Jiggy said, it's a perfect game according to GameSpot. I know that it got a 10 there because it gets talked about all the time. That's it. That's all I know. I don't think they've done anything else with Chrono Trigger. Jiggy, do you know anything more about Chrono Cross that you can tell me?
I might know a little bit. It might be one of my favorite JRPGs.
Really?
You didn't mention EGM's review where they did 10/10, and Greg Ford gave it not Greg Ford. Greg Ford. Is it Greg Ford? No.
Greg Ford is sports. Did sports
no, not
games
sports.
a lot.
He's on Player One podcast.
Man, you're stretching my knowledge a little too thin.
I don't know.
Anyway, they gave it a 9 point. Nope.
Garnet Lee? No, okay.
Not Garnet Lee. No, I'll look it up, but they gave it a 9.5. So it did not get the.
Is it really that good?
Greg Seward.
Okay.
I think it's really that good. The music is fantastic in that game.
I'm really excited to check it out.
For sure. Is it better than Chrono Trigger? That's debatable.
Okay. Chrono Trigger's really good.
Chrono Trigger is fucking fantastic, and I think
this is the first time this game has come out to anything since it first came out, right? Yeah,
and I think Chrono Cross, a lot of people get hung up on it. Is there's so many playable characters in this game? Like there's a couple dozen of them. It's
seems like a lot.
But it's also a new game plus kind of thing, like the original Chrono Trigger. Once you beat it, you can get New Game Plus, so you can get the other endings. This also has multiple endings. The problem is, there's certain characters that you can only have, only 2 characters have a steal ability, and if you want some of the best gear in the game, you're going to be using one of those characters a lot in the second half of the game. But the other thing about this is, this is one of those PlayStation 1 games that does a lot of resolution switching between 240p and 480i between gameplay and in the menus.
Got it.
And when you try to upscale that on certain upscalers, you lose the signal. And when you try to play that on a modern day TV, a RetroSync 5X eliminates that problem. It actually there's no syncing issue whatsoever with that. But anything before that, the open source scan converter, I don't know if the Frame Meister had that problem too, but you will get a desync and then try to reestablish connection because that's what digital HDMI tries to do. It's
that's the original game. What is this version? Does this version fix that?
It would have to, because it's playing on modern consoles. I can't imagine them trying to make a 240p game nowadays.
I mean, it is Square Enix.
Yes, they would most likely retrofit this to be 480p, which can run on anything.
And they are doing some. They're doing some work to this, because this Radical Dreamers Edition doesn't that reference
it comes with Radical Dreamers, which was a satellite
kind of thing?
It was
the Satellaview thing.
Satellaview, but yes, it was a text adventure that was a direct sequel to Chrono Trigger, and is referenced in Chrono Cross. They're all connected in loose ways.
You're telling me
because
I need to
it's
play
time.
this game sometime, right?
Yeah, I think you should play it at some point.
Okay.
Especially
I'm
if
going
you
to
played Chrono Trigger. I would definitely say yes.
Yeah, I'm going to pick this up when I get to it. No idea, but I will end up picking this up.
Yeah, I want to pick it up too, just so I can at least play Radical Dreamers. I know you can. There are translations out there now. It's been like decades since that game has come out, and there have been people who have been able to preserve, in a way, that game.
Sure.
But it is nice that there is now an option to buy it. I'm always just really hesitant when it comes to Square Enix and their remasters of stuff, because...
What? Sure. Why?
I don't know. I'm really looking forward to Front Mission 1 and 2, but I'm also pumping the brakes a little bit, because what if they fuck it up, man?
They could easily fuck it up. Well, I mean, if they fuck it up, you know what you do? You'll go back to the old games and just play those again.
I'm going to wait for a sale. Like I said, I own Chrono Cross on PlayStation 1. I've streamed it a couple of times. I haven't streamed it on the RetroTink 5X, so I might do that at some point, just to show an example of those kind of things that happen when you get two different video resolutions that a CRT has no problem switching between in the blink of an eye. But modern TVs, they can't keep up, man.
All right. Well, let's move on here. Also on the 7th, we are getting House of the Dead Remake for the Nintendo Switch. I have nothing. I have nothing to say.
I have this game on Saturn.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, not the
I
remake,
that.
obviously.
That like you. Sure. Do you guys have a favorite rail shooter?
Like a gun, like arcade, not like a
you don't have to be. You don't have to. Right.
You're talking about
Park
gun shooter, arcade style. I'd say Time Crisis 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Time Crisis is good. Jurassic Park was fine. The Terminator one was good back in the day.
That Lost World one, when you're actually that arcade one, when you're actually in like the Jeep.
Yeah.
Silent Scope. Those were always cool. With the big sniper gun with the little screen on the view.
The correct answer is Duck Hunt. So you guys got it wrong. But
I don't approve of duck violence, man.
Yeah.
Play shooting in Duck Hunt is great. But Duck Hunt's a great game.
All right, let's move on. We have this kind of glut of just here's some stuff that's being ported to the Switch, and it is basically half of April. Like that's just what's happening
a bunch
here.
Of old shit.
Hey, I'm finally gonna play 13 Sentinels.
Yeah, you are, because on April the 12th, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. You could put it out April 13th. It's right there. It's right fucking there. Just delay it by one fucking day. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is coming to the Nintendo Switch. This was a PS4 game that came out September of 2020 by Vanillaware. I like that game a lot. I think it's pretty cool. I just think it's pretty fucking cool. And I'm really glad I played it. I do really think it's neat. I don't need to play it again on a Switch. But I kind of wish I had it on the Switch the first time I played it. I think I would have played it a lot more or had a lot more sessions with it, just having that portable console with me. But I think it's a great one for the Switch because it has a lot of really bite-sized levels is too strong. It's kind of just chunks of story, and you can play through those chunks of story. I think in a really great way, portable on the go.
Nice.
On the 14th, Defend the Rook is coming to Nintendo Switch. This came out in January on PC. It's a roguelike tactics game. And Bobby, for some reason, this looks familiar. Did we look at this maybe for a Steam Next Fest thing? Yep.
So I've played the demo. It's a good demo for sure. And I don't know why I haven't picked up the full release of this. It's really coal. It's neat, like the whole board game aspect, chess. Obviously going into it, but we are fans of roguelikes and tactics, and this does a really good job of combining a lot of that. It's neat for sure.
Okay. And then on the 20th, 420 as some people might call it, I don't call it that, but somebody could. Star Wars
every day.
Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is coming to Nintendo Switch. And I think you would need to be high to play that game.
I've never played
those original 2022. I played a little bit of it. It's fine. Bobby, you're the Star Wars man here. What do you think of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed?
I had a lot of fun with this game. I think it's got a really good game. I mean, shit, I haven't played it for a long time, but when it first
Since
came out,
2008.
when it first came out, it had a good feel, and the powers are cool on it, and they take some liberties on story beats, which are pretty interesting.
You pull that Star Destroyer down into the fucking planet.
That's such a good fucking moment, man. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
It never happened, Bobby.
Their old tech demo trailer where the guy is just lifting up a stormtrooper and then slamming him down, and then lifting him up and slamming him down again and again. Yeah. I don't know. I always was more of like the Dark Forces kind of games, especially the was it the third one, Dark Forces 3, Jedi Knight 2.
Yes.
What
Jedi,
is it?
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
Yeah, I know. No, Jedi Academy was the fourth game, which was good. I played a lot of the multiplayer in college with my roommates of Jedi Academy on cracked versions of that game. But yeah, I always saw Force Unleashed and it's like, that looked cool, but I don't really need to play a God of War style Star Wars game. They've made so many action platformers back in the day. It's like I was always like, maybe wait and see, and it just passed its time.
Mm. Yeah. The thing I remember about Force Unleashed is that your character's name is Starkiller, and that was their original last name of Luke Skywalker. And I was like, you fucking nerds. That was just what I was thinking the whole time. But it doesn't matter now because Disney's like, that character never existed.
It's called Starkiller Base now.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, we have a new Starkiller. Let's move on. On the 28th, we are getting
Space. You missed a game.
I don't think I did.
It was announced today. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe arrives April 27th to consoles for the first time.
That'll be cool. That's a really neat game. Bobby, do you know anything about Stanley Parable?
I know that there was an achievement people got recently for that after waiting for a very long time.
For not playing it, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think you knowing that is you knowing too much about this game. But I would pay money to just watch you play this game. Maybe we should do that some Monday.
You should stream it. Just do a first run through, never knowing anything about it.
Maybe we'll do that on a Monday.
Of it, and it kind of spoils the fun a little bit.
Maybe we'll do that on a Monday, and I'll just watch you play it and maybe kind of coach you through it. That could be fun. And also, it plays and feels a lot like Portal. So you'll kind of, we're already in that mood after all the Portal 2 we played.
Sure.
Let's move on. On the 28th, Tatsumaki Beyond the Twilight comes to the Nintendo Switch and the PS4. This is a game that came out on PC last year. It's a game that every time I looked at it, I kept selling Bobby like, I think this game looks really cool. Maybe we should do something on like the various times it was on the Steam Next Fest kind of things. We never did because I think Bobby just thought it was some anime bullshit. Because it is. It is, to be fair.
Yes, it absolutely is.
When you look at these trailers, like this just looks like Genshin Impact to me. And I really like this art style of what's going on. And it's created pretty much all by one dude. I think there's a composer making the music, but the guys just built these incredible looking cities. Here's the problem. Apparently, it's not good. Apparently, it controls like shit, and these spaces are just really empty and boring.
It does. I attempted to. You asked me to download a demo of this from a Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
And I refused to play it after it's bad, dude. It plays very, very bad.
So I'd say buyer beware on that one, but I still think it looks cool. It's just too bad. Like the guy is obviously very talented at building the scenery, but maybe we could have spent just a little bit more time on the character control and some of the animations and that. Anyway, also on the 28th, Dwarf Romantic is coming to PC 1.0. This is a game that's been in early access for a while. I first found out about it because it was on the itch.io bundle for Black Lives Matter, and I loved it on that. This is the game where you're playing with these kind of, let me look at the trailer. Are they hexagonal or octagonal? They're hexagonal. Hexagonal. Okay. pieces, and you're putting them in. It's a really neat looking puzzle game, and it's evolved quite a bit from that kind of demo version that was on itch.io. Bobby, I think we did a quick look of this when it was in early access.
We did.
And now it's in 1.0. It has an undo feature now, which people wanted, and they did a very cheeky update where they're like, "Oh, the most requested feature is now in the game. It's an undo button." And it seems like they've added some more stuff to that. I really like Dorfromantic. It's not on a system I own, so I'm a little disappointed there. But when I have the ability, aka when I have a Steam Deck, I think Dorfromantic is something I will definitely be picking
Getting
up.
that email any day now.
Yeah.
Well, any month now. Bobby gets his any day now. And then finally, April 29th, the big one, Nintendo Switch Sports is coming for
the return of the
obviously
king.
Nintendo Switch. Return of the King, baby! I'm pretty jazzed about this. We're not getting golf right away. That comes in the fall. Which,
We're getting bowling right away.
It's a real big bummer. But yes, this has 6 games. It is bowling, tennis, badminton, volleyball, the Chambara sword fighty kind of one.
Kendo-ish kind of stuff, yeah.
And soccer. Those are the 6.
And soccer.
And the soccer, that also is getting an update in the summer. So right now you can play soccer with the Joy-Cons. And then there's also a mini game where you can do like penalty kicks and strap a Joy-Con to your thigh and do kicks like that. But in the summer, they're going to have an update where you can strap the Joy-Con on your thigh and play with the other Joy-Con and play the soccer match all at once.
Oh my god!
Anyway,
that demo, plays test demo, is pretty fun.
I didn't get to play it. I was out of town.
Weird hours, weird things that Nintendo does.
Well, it was a very specific time, so they could get as many people on there at once. I understand, and that makes sense. I'm pretty excited about this. I really liked Wii Sports. I'm excited to see how some of that stuff has changed. I'm excited to just try this stuff out. It seems like a nice chill thing to get me off the couch and play a little bit more, and I'm pretty excited about it. Very excited for the fall though, when golf comes out and that game actually becomes a good game again, and I play golf. That's what I want.
You're just looking for that ultimate golf simulator.
Absolutely.
I like golf games.
I like golf games too.
Baseball video games, kind of whatever. Golf video games, fucking great.
Chase, I'm guessing you should try Out of the Park Baseball.
I probably would like it. I've heard about it. Like getting into the real minutia of letting do the manager kind of stuff. That does sound kind of fun. Maybe someday. All right, let's make some picks here. My pick for the month is Nintendo Switch Sports, which we just talked about, and I think the rest of it looks pretty weak. I mean, yeah, I'll probably end up picking up Chrono Cross, and then Dorfromantic when it's available to me. 13 Sentinels I liked a lot, but I'm not going to play that again. So I think April is going to be more of a month where I can hopefully put more time into Super Robot Wars, finish my second playthrough of Triangle Strategy, and then maybe just play something on the Analog Pocket, because I love that thing and I want to play more of it. Bobby, what are your picks for the month of April?
I put Chrono Cross, Switch Sports, Defend the Rook, and maybe some Playdate games.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Playdate's...
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Potentially coming out really soon.
Waiting for that email.
Definitely.
Group 1 should be getting emails this upcoming week.
All right.
Please.
That. And then Jiggy, knowing that Johnny is going to inherit your choices for the next month, what are you having Johnny choose? Or basically, what do you like? What do you like?
It's going to be a weeb-tastic choice for Johnny here.
Sure.
Chrono Cross, of course, because like I said, I love that game, and I can't wait to finally try Radical Dreamers, but I'm tentative and hesitant how Square's going to handle it. Switch Sports, I love the original Wii Sports, and I think getting a chance to play that again is going to be great. And finally, I'll get to play, even though I have a PS4, 13 Sentinels. I've been waiting for something to play like that on a handheld device, just to take it on the go.
It's going to be the best way to play it.
Yeah. Once all these are on sale, I'll pick them up. But yeah, those are my April picks.
And I hope Vanillaware uses maybe they get the tech down, or maybe they understand the
Get
Switch
Muramasa on
architecture.
there.
Get
Odin
Muramasa, get Odin Sphere, get Dragon's Crown. Yeah, get all that shit. Put it on the Switch, because that's what I want to see. Man, that'd be great. Well, I'm very excited that Johnny finally has a good month of picks. So well done on that one, Jiggy. Bobby, why don't you take us home with some plugs and with the ending of the show?
Oh yeah. Hang on, our cameras are all messed up here. I don't know how much it matters.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I can fix it. We're all all crooked, but I can fix it.
Now Jiggy's Bobby. Bobby's Jiggy.
I run the show now.
I'm still me.
So Jiggy, first of all, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is fun.
You're always welcome here. We love you in chat, but we love you on the show even more. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chase, as always, you do such a great job putting this together. I know it's no easy feat. Thank you for making it work like you do. It's my favorite type of episode that we do. So even though April wasn't the best month, I think that we've had some. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I've had some very good games this year so far. So I'm happy to have a little break to catch up on some stuff. So let's talk about the week. We played and wrapped up Best Buddies Play Portal 2 Monday night. That was a ton of fun. Really cool series. Head over to YouTube to check out our video on demand. You can do that by going to that link there in chat, or
guys solved it with portals.
We solved it all with portals.
And love.
That hug at the end was such a nice little. I never got a chance to play co-op Portal 2, and that's a nice little thing at the end.
Good touch. Good touch.
Tunic, a little game that I've talked about, is up as a quick look. You can check that out tonight.
Or as Bobby tells you, maybe don't. Maybe don't check that, quick look out. Maybe just
play the game. I was going to watch it, and I was like, I kind of want to save myself. This
don't watch it.
Like going not knowing anything kind of game.
I don't think that you should watch that if you have not played the demo or the first area. If you've done that, you can hear us talk through some of it.
If you want to play Tunic, I would suggest not watching that quick look. If you don't think you're going to play Tunic, I'm not going to play Tunic, but I think if you're in my position, I think the quick look's at least worth a watch, so you can see what you might be missing and whether that changes your mind. It doesn't change my mind because I'm weird and apparently hate everything, but I think it's a good game that I just don't like. So you might find it to be more palatable to you.
Yeah, it's a game about discovery. It's a game about exploration, and
I hate those things.
I just don't think that.
And Legend of Zelda games too.
Yeah,
weird.
I don't want to show off any of those things on that. So Tunic has a quick look up that you shouldn't watch. We told you about the games coming out tonight here on the Casual Hour, and then tomorrow, or if you're listening to this yesterday, that Mario Kart DLC, we covered all that. There's a quick look for that. But if you're listening to this, not watching it, and it happens to be Friday, April 1st, this is no joke. The Casual Crew is going to be hanging out playing that game live right here on twitch.tv/casual hour. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Start your engines.
Start your engines. So anybody who's friends with us and wants to hop in there and race around, feel free to message us, hit us up on our Discord.
I'll join in on my Wii U copy of Mario Kart 8.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'll
oh wait,
great.
that doesn't work. Damn it.
Hell yeah. And that's what we're going to be up to this week. I linked to our social stuff, Casual Hour, wherever you follow social stuff. Chase, what are you up to?
Not much. Gamers on the Go still out there. Jiggy and I did a Game Boy Advance Top 25 Games Ever episode, and that's out there. You can listen to that. I've put up my personal list of 25 games on gamersonthego.com, and it sounds like Jiggy is going to give me a list of his.
I do. I have 5 games written up, and I think I'm good on that, so I'm going to just spruce them up and hand them to you hopefully tomorrow.
Sounds good. Then I'll get that up. I'll get that up soon, so there will be some new content for gamersonthego.com. And then also on my YouTube channel, Chasey Plays. Currently, Johnny and I are still going through our Pokemon Shining Pearl Nuzlocke. Going okay. We're got 7 badges. We're getting near the end, and I'm starting to think about what I'm going to play next, and I'm pretty excited by the possibilities. So check that out, Chasey Plays on YouTube. And that's all I got.
Nice. Jiggy, I'm going to shout you out here in chat. If you want to follow along with some of your streams, there's the link to do it.
I haven't streamed in a while, but I hope to change that soon. I finally set up my computer in my own room so I can have privacy and like a little extra space. So yeah, I mostly play retro games on original hardware, most part. I'm gonna try to branch out a little bit because I have ways of playing modern day stuff now, PC, Switch, PS4, and all that other fun stuff. So I'm gonna try to branch out into other things, but. Yeah, good. Give me a follow, twitch.tv/Giggysan.
Hell yeah. Well, look, this has been a fun-filled episode. Appreciate everybody swinging by and hanging out. Like we mentioned, we'll be back Monday or Friday night with some Mario Kart 8. Please come and hang out. It'll be a great time. Otherwise, we'll see you on the other side. Jiggy, thank you so much.
You're welcome.